When I was young, my brother and I built a boat with our father. We spent several years sailing and exploring the Patuxent River. And then I met Toni.
Peter and I spent many happy times on that boat, and so when we got married, we built a larger boat and ventured out into the Chesapeake Bay and its many rivers.
We crewed on larger boats with dreams of sailing the world, but then life took another turn.
Today, we look forward to retirement with dreams of leaving it all behind. Come join us on our journey to sail the seas.
Hey, we got another opportunity to take the Seawind 1260 out in October. October is a beautiful sailing time on the Chesapeake Bay. The water's clear, the temperatures are cool. Most of the idiot boaters are off the water at that time. So I think we're going to take advantage of that, right?
Yes.
So what we like to do is share some of the prep work that we do to take a boat out. It's hard when the boat's not ours. It's not our pantry. We don't know what's on that boat. So everything we must bring with us. And if we forget something, then we give up sailing time because we have to come back to shore, pick it back up, and then go back out. We lost a lot of time the last time we went out because we had to come back for propane. So check propane before we leave the docks.
Peter's going to have a checklist. Everything to check.
Yeah, it always is about the checklist. So first thing we need to do is start planning the menu, right?
Mm-hmm.
The hardest things is dinner. And what we want to do is we want dinners that we can kind of pre-prep. And the reason we want to pre-prep is we can do most of the work here and we don't have to worry about these little ingredients because we pre-prep it here with our pantry that we have what's in there.
And so keeping in mind that this is a short trip for a few days on the bay, that's not the way you would do it if you were going out for a longer trip.
Right, if we had our own pantry and stuff, we would do it. So what do we want for dinners? Dinners are the hardest thing to plan for. Any ideas?
We have to have the skewerless shish kebabs.
The skewerless, we just did an episode on that, I think. Yeah, that's
They're so good.
Delicious. I can pre-prep everything here and just cook it up on the grill. So
and everything cooks on the outdoor grill, or maybe the rice one might do inside.
So that's a good idea. I was thinking since October, have Oktoberfest on the boat.
Okay, so if you're doing that, we have to have two things. One is the sauerkraut that you make. Which he can make ahead.
I can pre-prep the braised sauerkraut, that's for sure. I can look for some authentic Weisswurst and Bratwurst.
And we have to have a dunkel, a dark German beer.
We get some unique German beer and maybe Mom's Bavarian potato salad.
Yes.
Okay, so that's one meal. Most of that I can prep at home, so that's good. Two more meals. Burgers are easy. Burgers I can prep. It's easy to plan for.
And you can cook those out on the grill too.
Yes, so we can do that.
Maybe some corn with them.
I don't know if Monica's going to be around, so we'll have to figure out the third meal. Tacos?
I don't like tacos so much. Maybe fajitas. How about
fajitas? We can do fajitas.
Like
actually, we can do that on the grill too, and I can pre-prep that. So, steak or chicken? I think we should do chicken.
Yeah, because we're going to have this skewerless thing, the shish kebabs, and that's going to be steaks.
So that's...
And we're going to have burgers too, so that's too...
Yeah, that's a lot of it.
Something different.
Okay, so those meals, the dinners are the hardest. Now for lunch, sandwiches.
We do a lot of sandwiches. I like to try to break it up a little bit. So I might bring some fresh veggies that we can chop up with some hummus and wrap it up in a wrap.
We can do that. Now breakfast, we have plenty of eggs. The chicken's back there are laying. Most of them are molting, but we're getting enough eggs where we can take it with us.
And the bagels with the, what do they call it? Lox?
Lox, smoked salmon.
Smoked salmon.
Capers, that's good. Canadian bacon. I like Canadian bacon on a boat because there's little grease.
Yeah.
Right. Dealing with all that grease on a boat is a pain in the butt. But Canadian bacon's good. It's round. It will fit on the bagel. So that's good.
We can make egg sandwiches one morning.
Egg, steak and eggs? I don't know. Yeah. And then various snacks like fruits, nuts, that type of stuff should cover us, right?
Yes.
So what we'll do is I'll go through and I will start creating an ingredients list. I'll take that ingredient list, compare it to what's in my pantry. What I don't have, we'll go out to the store, we'll buy, and then we'll start the process of pre-prepping. And I'll share my list, checklist and everything with you, and then we can go start making the stuff. Some of it I can freeze, which is good. Some of them we'll do it 1 or 2 days before, put it in the refrigerator. And it's all about keeping things light, easy, and casual. And
we always bring some paper towels and things. But again, this is a, we're going out for the week and coming back trip. So.
We also bring some things, like we bring our water bottles that we fill up with water. I have my spatulas, my nested metal bowls. There's some things we bring from the house that we don't know whether it's on this boat or not. Now, I think we're going back on Emiola.
Yes.
I think they fixed the issues with it. Talking to the captain, I think they ended up replacing the whole C-zone system. I don't know what the issue, but we'll find out when we get on it. I think Emi has her dolphin seats, or should have her dolphin seats.
I'm looking forward to that.
So that'll be good.
Spot.
We'll bring our drone. Maybe we'll get some nice far away third-party footage. So that's kind of cool. So that's it. Now, we're lucky because we go up to Liberty Marine, which is about 40 minutes up the road. If we were to go to Florida to charter a boat, all this pre-prep stuff probably could not happen. So we would have to rethink that. And those would probably be self-contained, very simple meals, I think, because we would have to go to the store, stock the boat's pantry while we're down there.
Do fresh stuff and everything. I mean, you wouldn't have to do all process, but it wouldn't be maybe not as intricate a recipe.
Yeah, I mean,
burgers would work.
When we went to Bahamas, we had somebody stock the boat.
Yeah.
That's another alternative. So that's okay. Anything else you want to go before we get to work?
I don't think so. I will say that this time of year is a little bit different for the clothes we have to bring. So I just ordered a rain, like a foul weather rain jacket kind of thing for me.
Usually October is good. Brisk morning, cool evenings, cool
Layers.
Sailing, nice breeze. But you gotta remember, when we were sailing in June, it was in the 50s.
Yeah, it was pretty chilly, and
so
we got by.
And it rained, so
yeah.
We're hoping for better weather,
yes.
Better experience.
A day like today, which is really pretty.
So I'll include you in with the checklist. Maybe I'll do a time lapse of pre-prep. Usually I have 4 or 5 hours of me pre-prepping in the kitchen, and then we'll see you, I guess, when we leave, right? What I usually do is I type up the menu. That way I know exactly what we're going to eat, or the planned foods that we're going to eat. And from there, once I understand the menu, I'll go ahead and start looking at the ingredients necessary to prep this. I like pre-prepping these dishes before getting on the boat. That way I know that I haven't forgotten anything. From the menu, I create an ingredients list and include all the ingredients. By doing this, I know exactly what I need to pre-prep these meals. And then what I'll do is I'll go through the pantry and kind of cross the things that I already have here, so I don't need to add it to the grocery list. Once the reconciliation between the ingredients and what I have in the pantry, I create the grocery list. I use this list to go to the store, and I cross things off as I add it to the basket. This way I have everything to pre-prep my meals. I also add an alcohol list. I need a sweet German Riesling for the recipe for braised sauerkraut, German beer for Oktoberfest, various wines, and then things I want to bring with me to the charter, like the French press for coffee, my bottles, my bowls, my spatula, tongs, headlamps, that type of stuff, so I can pack it up and cross it off the list. While we're at it, I usually review the checklist of things I need to check off before leaving the dock. I am chartering this boat, so I want to leave the dock with a full water tank. I want to make sure that the fuel tanks are full. I'm responsible for making sure that the boat is returned with full fuel tanks, so I want to make sure that they were full when I left. That the batteries are charged. I want to check the black water tank levels to make sure I don't have to come back just to pump out. They should be empty when I go out. Also, recently added to the list was propane. I'm not going to make that mistake again. Make sure there's enough toilet paper stocked on the boat. It's usually marine paper. The charter company is responsible for that. Look at the fire extinguishers to make sure I know where they're at and make sure that they're charged. Look where the life jackets are kept, just in case I need them. You really should know where the seacock locations are, just in case. I'll take a look at the bilges to make sure that they're dry. I'll look at the engine compartments just to make sure that everything's in good shape. Usually the charter company will do all your engine maintenance and verifications, but I want to just make sure that I understand the shape of the boat before I leave the dock. So I know, so I have to note any inconsistencies, so I'm not responsible for it. We start monitoring the weather very closely as the departure date approaches. Unfortunately, we had a hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico that's bouncing around, Hurricane Ian. Well, that was way down there, so nothing to worry about yet.
Live now from Fox, we are tracking Hurricane Ian as it inches towards the Florida coast.
Toni and I was using all of our positive thoughts to redirect Hurricane Ian to ensure that it did not bother us during our charter.
Still a Category 3 hurricane, moving at 10 miles per hour with sustained winds at 120 miles per hour. The last update did say that Ian was moving closer to the west coast of Florida, and it is expected to cause life-threatening storm surge, catastrophic winds, and flooding in the Florida Peninsula. Those are the words of the National Hurricane Center.
3 to 5 days before leaving, I kind of take a real close look at the weather. I'm interested in the wind, primarily the wind gust. I usually start the day of departure and the time of departure and just play out the entire week so I can get a sense of which direction the wind is coming from and the gust and the strength of the wind. I compare the colors of the map to the color-coded bar below to get an idea of the strength of the wind. As you can see, the wind at departure time will be gusting 30 to 40 knots. I mean, this is like a double, triple reef just leaving the docks. Let's play the week out. As you can see on Monday, the wind is kind of very strong and blustery coming out of the north. It kind of calms down. We're going into Tuesday. Tuesday looks like a nice sailing day. Wind still primary coming from the north. Lightening up. Wednesday looks like a good day. Perfect day for sailing. Wind still primary coming from the north. As Wednesday goes into Thursday, the winds are dying down. We're really not seeing much wind at all. And then going into Friday, Friday looks like a beautiful day. And then I look at the weather details for the week. From this particular view, I am interested in the wind speed, the wind direction, the gust, the temperature, the precipitation, wavelength, and the wave period. What does this tell me? Well, it tells me Monday's going to be crap. The winds are going to be gusting at over 30 knots on Monday. It's coming from the north. The temperature is going to be in the low 50s. It's going to be cold. It's going to be raining like hell, and the bay is going to be choppy. This limits my course. I could probably put 3 reefs in, sail south, find cover in the Patuxent River somewhere, but I sure in the hell wouldn't want to be north in this type of weather. This is not good sailing weather at all. Tuesday's looking a whole lot better. The winds have died down. There's still a slight chop out there. The wind's still coming from the north, but it's definitely doable. Nice day of sailing. Wednesday is looking good. The weather's becoming more mild. The chop is not so bad. The winds are perfect for sailing. Still out of the north. Thursday, the winds are going to drop to almost nothing. There will be no chop. It looks like the bay is going to be close to being glass. This will not be a good day of sailing. No wind. Friday is looking good. Of course, Friday would look good. That's the last day. We have to be back at the docks by 4. But Friday is doable. It looks like whatever's left of Ian will stay well to our west. We're going to lose Monday. It's just going to be too rough and miserable to go out on Monday. But we can salvage Tuesday through Friday. As long as Ian does not stall and make a turn to east, we should be okay. Rot roll. The remnants of Ian did exactly what we did not want it to do. It stopped, it stalled, and it started heading east. This changes everything. We're going to have to go back and reevaluate the entire weather just 24 hours after things were looking okay. It's been raining like this since Friday. Today is Sunday. It is cold and it's rainy and it's wet, and I don't see any end coming soon. We're supposed to leave tomorrow on our charter boat on the 1260 on the Chesapeake Bay, and Hurricane Ian is giving us a hard time. We're going to go in and see what the weather forecast calls. Hopefully there's a change. This isn't looking good.
No.
It looks like the hurricane came far too north than it originally was supposed to. Hung east and just kind of stalled. Monday was looking really bad, but now it looks like it's gone into Tuesday. We're looking at high winds, pouring down rain. So Monday was out. Now it looks like
winds on Tuesday.
they're going to be gusting at 35, 36 miles an hour.
What about Monday?
With pouring down rain, a big ass chop. Monday was out anyway. Same thing. Very high winds coming from the north, pouring down rain, and a very bad chop. So let's go to Wednesday. Tuesday looked great, and Wednesday looked great. Now Wednesday, looks like the wind's gonna die by 8, so we have like 22 knots. That's not so bad. Temperature, it comes up to 54 degrees. We can survive that, but it's still pouring down rain. It's pouring down rain all the way through Wednesday night now. Now, if we look at Thursday,
No wind.
there's no wind. There's no wind at all on Thursday. I don't want to be motoring. Let's move over to Friday. Friday looks like the winds drop down as well. Maybe puffs of gust up to 8 or 9 knots. No, of course, there's no waves. The temperature's nice and warm. This week is screwed. I don't know if I want to spend all this money to be miserable.
Well, the point is to get some sailing time in, you know, some practice for me.
Well, I understand that, but let's call Sailway and see if we can reschedule this.
Yeah.
Because it makes no sense. This is
I won't get
this is bad. No,
practice.
we're going to be miserable, cold, and wet,
Yeah.
pounding through the Chesapeake chop.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Thank you, Ian. We chose this because we hardly have any hurricanes this time of the year. Last week would have been perfect.
Yeah.
So we have all this food. What are we going to do? Freeze it? Store it?
Freeze.
Eat it?
We'll eat some, freeze some.
Let's see if we can reschedule. If we're committed, then I'd rather not lose the money.
I'd rather have some better sailing.
Yeah, damn right. Okay, there's not going to be a time-lapse video. We were able to reschedule the charter, thank God. We have it rescheduled for towards the end of October. Do you think we made the right call?
I think so. It was wet, windy, and cold most of the week.
It was. When do we see sunshine?
Friday, but then there were no winds.
Right. So by the time we saw sunshine, it was Friday, and we didn't see it until it was time to come home anyway, if we had gone out. So I think we made a wise call. We were lucky that we could reschedule. Most of the time you can't reschedule, so we were lucky in that case.
But we're praying for good weather this time because Ola is going down to Florida.
Go back to Florida. So if we don't get this weekend, then that's it for us for this season. Right. What's next for us?
We're going to the boat show.
We'll be at the Annapolis Sailboat Show on a Friday. We'll check out the tents and take a peek at the Seawinds. I think they're going to have a Seawind 1160 there with the forward cushions. We've never sat on those forward cushions.
No, we want to try those out.
So I'm very excited about that.
And I want to look through the tents and see what kind of things we might
That's all the cool
Wanna get
stuff
to the
that
boat.
is in the tents and everything. And then we have some marine diesel training coming up in November.
We do have that.
So,
He's gonna have me learn how to take
I'm,
care of a
uh,
diesel engine.
I'm excited about that. So that'll be great. Other than that, I guess we'll see you when we go out on the next charter, or maybe we'll sneak the boat show video in if we have some. If you like what we're doing, I mean, just, you know what to click. Just click it. Just click the good stuff, and we'll see you soon. Anything else? It's a head nod?
A head nod.
A head nod?
There's nothing else.
Okay, well, thank you for watching this episode. Give us a thumbs up. Oh, the wind is blowing so hard. The hurricane force, it's just killing us. Ian needs to go back south. Oh, we're gonna have to cancel. I can barely stand up. Oh, this hurricane is so bad.